me what I cannot have forever. I'm saving you. Is the heart of a woman. Yeah. Saving you. Is the heart of a woman. I was your best friend, but once you around all the time.
Hey you guys, and welcome back to my channel. Now I know I haven't did a Let's Talk About It video in a very long time, and I know y'all like my Let's Talk About It videos. Now this Let's Talk About It video, judging by the title, you may be like, best friend, Valentine's Day is over, but baby, we are still in February, at least until a few days. Now I'm gonna tell you about the time that literally I called off my 3.5-year relationship on Valentine's Day. Yes, broke up. I literally been single now for 5 years because I caught this man cheating. Now I'm gonna say once again, and I caught him on Valentine's Day, slash my birthday, because my birthday is February 10th, and so I wind up catching him literally like the day, like I caught him on Valentine's Day, but we officially broke up the day after, but I called it quits February 14th. And when I tell you, it was definitely a date to remember. Now let's go ahead and get into this video, but before we do, y'all already know what y'all need to do. If we besties, if you like my videos, if you are new here, go ahead and tap the like button, the share button, the subscribe button, because guess what? You're going to like it here, best friend. Now, let's get into this video. Now, I'm kind of embarrassed to tell this story because, like, don't judge me, okay? Don't judge me, because a lot of y'all may be like, best friend, really? But whatever, it's my story and I'm going to tell it, and that's what it is. So let's talk about it. So this Let's Talk About It video, like I said before, is about literally when I ended my 3.5-year relationship on Valentine. Now, the story goes like this. At this time, I was dating this guy, whatever, he's from Mississippi or whatever, and I'm going to tell y'all the complete whole story about with him later on. And I know if you've been following me for a while, I always give you bits and pieces of this person. And baby, I ain't gonna lie to you, besties, we're gonna get the full package of the whole story, but baby, for now, just let me give you in pieces. Okay, let's begin. Now, I met this dude or whatever. He's from Mississippi, whatever. He give you more chestnut, Black Hershey vibes. He just gives you scrumptious. Now, one thing that this man have been for me since we've been together was, like, I ain't gonna lie, a charmer, a liar, a manipulator, and someone that can make you honestly believe anything that he says. And even when you catch him in things, he's so quick on his feet, he can tell another lie like this. So let's dive into this story. Now, before we get into this video, I am going to say that I'm not wearing my mic. It is charging, so just bear with me. So let's go. Like I said, I have been with this dude at this time, it's been about 3.5 years. And like I said, very dishonest, disloyal person, man. And we've been working through this, honestly, over the years, over the months, over the days, baby. And something very traumatic happened, like last year prior. And we said that we were honestly going to do better, and if we were going to try again, and if this didn't work, we were going to leave it at the doorstep. And now, I know the questions that y'all want to ask. Have you ever cheated on you before? Yes. Have he ever lied to you before? Yes. Have you ever did any fugazi stuff before? The answer is yes. Anything you could think of is yes. Why didn't I leave him? I loved him. It is what it is. Because I'm going to answer this so we can get out the way so I can go ahead and tell the story. And y'all don't be thinking what I am ashamed of. Like, why didn't I leave this man sooner? Like, why did I allow this man to make it that far into 3.5 years? But whatever. So at this point, we're together, whatever. Like I said, we've been the year that I'm talking about, like, it's been a good year. Like, I haven't caught him in no crazy stuff, But I noticed about October-ish, weird things start happening. Like, he not having all the rent, money, him snappy, him not wanting to come home, him getting into weird arguments, such as he will start an argument with me like, how's your day? And I'm like, my day was fine. Oh, why you say it like that? And I'm like, say it like what? Like, I just said my day was fine. Oh, you didn't have to say it was so being aggressive. See, that's why I didn't want to. I'm not, you know what? I'm going to just go to the bar and give me something to drink. And I'll be thinking to myself, at first I thought it was me. Like, I'm tripping. Like, maybe, girl, maybe it is your tone. Whatever. But then, I mean, one time, literally, he called. This was like maybe a week or two before the incident I'm talking about. And I'm literally laying in bed and I'm half asleep and I'm whispering because I'm sleeping and Rami's laying next to me. And he's like, oh, there you go. You hiding. You must be hiding something. It was literally, he was always trying to put the blame on me about everything. He always tried to make it seem like I was the problem when literally, clearly, he was the problem. And when you're in a situation, a relationship like this, you be honestly thinking you be the problem. Like, best friends, if you've been there with a girl or a guy, you know you've been there. You understand what I'm like. They will make you feel like you're going crazy. Like, am I the problem? Or is he the problem? So with this particular time when he literally tried to throw something on me, I was confused. It was one thing like, all right, bet, you gonna get mad. Do you, boo, boo, boo. I normally drop Ramaya off at her dad at the pickup spot as we have joint custody. And normally the person I'm talking about, me and him, we will link up. We will go to the movies. We will go to Applebee's. We will go to Chili's. We would have date night, whatever, because, you know, the little time that because we normally always have Ramaya. So it was like, you know, a little time for us. This particular time, legit, he's like, I had an attitude and he wasn't going to come to the house and blah, blah, blah. And like I said, I was super confused. I was very confused because I know he just worked like a 13-hour day as he worked overnight at like a man's like recovery center or whatever. They didn't really do much there, but whatever. He just got to work in that, and then he also worked his second job at Costco. And so I am literally assuming, like, why would you not want to hang out with me? Why would you not want to chill with me? It's been years. Like, we know each other pattern. You know what I'm saying? So it just seemed odd, but it was just one of them nights that I just didn't want to deal with it. So he wind up not coming home that day, and I knew he had to go to work the next day, so I wasn't really expecting to really see him for real. Or whatever. So the next day he came home like early that morning. He took a shower. He went to the gym. He came back. He packed his little bag for, you know, his little job or whatever. Now this was a Sunday. And then I remember like him leaving. Fine. And then boom, I remember Sunday night, it was another argument. And it was arguments that were just out the freaking blue. It was just weird. And then it was like, I remember even before then, I would find request off forms at a job. So in my mind, I'm like, are you really at work for real? Like, are you just telling me you're at work? Are you really at work? But every time I asked him questions, every time I suggested anything, every time I hinted to anything, every time I asked any questions, it was always like he was on edge, which was confusing to me because we were finally back on the road of like doing things better and getting things back on point. So like I said, I was very confused. Like, how did we get here again? So I remember talking to my mom about it. And I remember my mom was like, because we just moved to a new city. And I remember my mom was like, so I was working in real estate for like 6 years. And so my mom was like, go ahead and just get you another job ASAP, just in case if anything go wrong, you don't have to really depend on him. You don't feel like he got the upper hand. And like I said, he just randomly just stopped paying bills. So I wanted to get away from real estate for a minute. So I wind up working as an insurance specialist, first time, whatever. It was great money. And then the arguments went from, oh, you got a job, so it's like you don't need me anymore, blase, blase, blase. It was just weird. And so I'm working, I'm getting my independence back lightly. And COVID season starts to happen. So when COVID season started to happen a little bit, this is back in like I said, COVID season started to happen a little bit. And so I remember me and Ramai, we wound up getting COVID. Like, we didn't know it was COVID. We just knew we was completely sick. Literally at the beginning of January. And then just to stop that really quick. So, I think I'm going too much. So, me and my daughter wound up getting extremely sick. So, he wound up staying away or whatever because he didn't want to get sick or whatever. Because, like I said, what he did for a living. And so, he stayed away for like 2 days or whatever. Boom, boom. He would call me from the hotel. And, you know, or we would take different shifts and stuff like that so he can make some extra money and pick up the. And so, at this point, like I said, I'm sick. Me and my baby, we are sick. And at this, like, I ain't gonna lie, I'm not even studying and worried about him. I'm just going like, why am I sick? Like, why am I, can't get up, da-da-da. And at this time, like I said, COVID wasn't really a thing. They didn't really have a name for it. They just called it a flu, like, whatever. So me and my reminder, we're sick. Her dad is sick. Boo, boo, boo. We're laying there. Da, 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 da. So he wanted to come to the house towards the end of us not being sick anymore. And I remember I get a phone call from a family member of mine. They're like, so you and oh boy, y'all not together no more? And I'm like, yeah, we're together still. Like whatever, whatever. He was like, are you following him on Instagram? And I'm like, yeah. And so I go into his Instagram and boom, he blocked me. Like I said, me and this man have been together for years. So I'm very confused of why I'm blocked. Like, to me, it doesn't make any sense for me to be blocked when, like, I'm your girl. So I wind up going on my other page that I had, which was like my company page that I had. And we were friends on there, of course. So I seen a picture of him and another chick with like 2 other couples hugged up in a Dodgers outfits. Now, y'all can get more of that story in another video, so I'm going to kind of bypass that. All I know, all I'm going to tell you is I was mad. When I tell you I was sick, livid, and mad, and pissed off altogether. And like I said, I am mad. And the only thing I'm thinking is like, we supposed to be doing better. This is why this man would just randomly start arguing with me so he can get out the house. Like, I am freaking confused. And a lot of people say, well, were you lacking in the bedroom? No. Were you not cooking from him? No. Were you nagging all the time? No. The only time we literally argued and had was when he literally would do weird stuff. Like, he just weirdly would just do weird, off the wall, why would you do that stuff? And of course, I'm a woman. I want to know. What was that? So I'm over here literally, let me go check on that. Be right back. If y'all don't know, I have puppies, and I think one of the puppies are Mr. Our Lady knocked down the little kennel thing. But anyways, we're back. So, like I said, we really didn't have, like, problems for real. All his problems is the problem that he brought into the relationship because he couldn't be faithful. And I know now of today, I know that I should have left him a long time ago because we were going to keep arguing and we were going to keep on being a rift because damage was already done. But moving on. So, when he comes home, I don't say nothing about it. Something told me to go check his trunk. I go check his trunk. Boom. I see the Dodger jersey in there. Boom. So now I got the evidence. Clearly, the picture says 1,000 words. But now I got the jersey in my hand. So, I destroyed the jersey and did. Don't judge me. Judge your mama. And I did, bestie. I destroyed the jersey. The jersey had to be destroyed. All his memories had to be destroyed. And if you know, Dodger jerseys ain't cheap. So, with that being said, we had to make it disappear, go away. So, of course, he was very upset about that. And then to me, it was like he was more upset about the fact that the jerseys were being destroyed than me finding out on what he did. And then he was like, oh, I wasn't going to date. I'm like, sir, it looks like you're on a double date. It looks like it's two people, then you, and you hugged up under her. And it's like you wasn't even trying to hide it for real. Anyways, he finally lightweight told the truth. Boom, 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 boom. Now this comes like mid-January. Me and him is not really close. Bing, bing, bing. He calls me and he goes, hey, I gotta go fly to Memphis to go see my dad. Now I knew it was a bad idea at all. I knew it was a bad idea. And so I'm like, okay. And I was like, well, when are you have to fly to Memphis to go see your dad? He was like, I'll be out there February 9th and I'll be back on the 11th. Now I'm thinking, my birthday February 10th. But I know you saying that your daddy is sick and stuff, and I don't want to be unsympathetic to your daddy being sick. But you leaving the day before my birthday? That means that you have no birthday plans. That means you had no intentions in being with me. That means that literally you didn't even offer for me to go. I could have went. You like, now I'm mad. Now, anybody that knows me, especially him, because the first holiday we ever spent together besides Christmas, we met around Christmas, so it really didn't count. But the first like really official holiday was my birthday. And even that was a little doozy, but it was good. You feel me? And so like he knows that like my birthday and Valentine's Day means a lot to me. So I was really confused how and why he didn't care as much as I felt like he should have. But at the end of the day is, if your dad is sick, by all means, your parents come first. You know what I'm saying? Like, go handle that. So he went out there and he whatever. He called me. I remember he called me. He was in a club or whatever. I'm like, why are you in a club? You supposed to be with your daddy. He was like, oh, my dad is asleep. A couple friends, they want him calling me. They try to get me out the house and them. But the fool forgot was that I could see the Snapchat, right? Now, one thing, like I said, this man wasn't the smartest crayon or the smartest engine that could. I ain't gonna lie to you. He was missing a couple screws, now that I think about it. Anyways, in the Snapchat video is literally him dancing and whatever with somebody else, literally a female. And when I confront him about it, boom, I'm the crazy one. Whatever. He's like, we're going to talk about it when we get home. Don't worry about it. I got all this. I'm going to come back before Valentine's Day and I have something big planned for you. He was like, I do have to work the morning of Valentine's Day. He's up, other than that, it's all about you. I'm going to make up for your birthday. I'm going to make up for Valentine's Day. I'm gonna make up for all the shit that we've been going through. Please give me another try. I promise. I love you. Blah, 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 blah. Now, everything in my spirit said, no, go do my own thing. Screw you. So I kind of did. I ain't gonna lie to you. So I went out with my girls. It was like a new black-owned restaurant downtown LA. I went there or whatever with my homegirls. It was very fun. And I remember on the way coming back home, driving home, whatever, it was like literally the last day before he was about to come back. And I called him, and I remember he literally was trying to rush me off the phone. And he was like, asking me why I was still out. And I was like, well, I've been drinking a little bit, whatever. I was like, I'm not, intoxicated, whatever, but I'm a little tipsy, whatever. But he was like, can you drive? I said, yeah, I can drive. He was like, well, call me when you make it to the house. I'm like, well, I'm calling you so that way I can stay completely alert. Blah, blah, blah. And then he was like, well, just call me when you get to the house. Like, rushing me off the phone, which was super duper weird. And so I was like, don't worry about it. I'm going to call somebody else. Of course, that pissed him off. I found myself crying all the way home in tears. And the day after my birthday, or the day before Valentine's Day, thinking like, oh my God, this is going to be the worst day ever. So here I am, boo-hooing, listening to, all the breakup songs you can think of. Because in my mind, I'm like, this man got me messed up. I done been through the rain, the storm, the clouds, the rainbows, the lilies, the kitchen. I done been through every weather forecast there is with this man. Up, down. And you telling me you treated me like you don't care? Like, for real? Like, you don't care? okay, since you don't care. So then I wound up literally like just like going home. I got something to eat. No, I had my leftovers. I remember going home, taking me a shower, sitting in the middle of my bed, eating, and I fell asleep or whatever. And he called a couple times or whatever, but I was knocked out. And the next morning, of course, is, oh, so you was with some man. Who was you with? Who did you have in my house? I'm like, you are reflecting what you're doing on me, clearly. He's like, no, I'm just tired. I'm like, you tired? What you tired of? What you tired of? Please tell me, sir, what you tired of. Please, let's compare notes and see who should be tireder. So, I'm like, are you coming home tomorrow? He was like, yes. My plane is 4 o'clock in the morning, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, whatever. I should make it there about a little bit before noon. And I'm going straight to work or whatever. By 6 o'clock, I will be off. And we need to sit down, we need to talk. We need to have I'm gonna schedule a romantic dinner because we need to literally talk. Now, I ain't gonna lie to you. I really didn't want to go out, but I'm also thinking like, if we are going to have closure, let's do this face to face. If we are going to, whatever it is. Like, and a piece of me, I ain't going to lie. Like I said, I was in love. So a piece of me was just hoping that he had just a really good excuse to crawl himself out of this hole. But in my heart of heart, I knew that he was not going to be bright enough to do such thing. So the next day happened. He's calling me throughout the whole day. Communication on point. Calling me. And he's like, hey, I'm about to get off of work, get dressed. I'm like, all right, do you want me to pick out your clothes? Because I used to do it all the time. And he was like, yeah, pick me out, something really nice to wear. I'm on my way. I'm on the freeway right now. It says that I'll be there within 40 minutes. I said, bet. So 40 minutes passed. An hour passed. Hour and a half passed. I ain't even realized it for real. Because, you know, ladies, we're getting dressed. Like, I'm doing makeup. I'm doing hair. I'm smelling good. I'm shaving. I'm doing all the above. Because it's going to be, hopefully, a good night. So, it's like 2 hours later since I got off the phone with him. And mind you, he was like 45, he was like 30, he was like maybe 15 minutes into driving when he said that, you know, he was on his way. So I'm calling him, he's not answering. I'm calling him, he's not answering. I'm texting him. It says seen, no reply. And I'm just thinking to myself, Nam Yoho Renge Kyo. Like, this man is literally going to make me spaz out for real. Yes. New people, we call it spaz out. We don't call it crash out. But anyways, moving forward. So I'm about to literally spaz out. I'm calling him. He's not answering. Finally, at this point, I'm like, screw this. I take my clothes off. I put my hair up. I go around the corner. I give me some food. I come home. I come back to the house. He finally calls me as I'm pulling up. I'm like, what do you want? He's like, hey, my bad. I was called into the other job. I'm like, first of all, if you were called to the other job, why you didn't call me? 2, you're lying. He was like, how you gonna tell me I'm lying? Literally, I checked his Snapchat because literally he had it on. It showed you exactly where he was at. And it showed me that he never left the area that he was originally in. But he was not by the job. It said that he was at like a jazz comedy, like a comedy show / like jazz loungy area. And he literally showed like him like in a candlelight setting. And I'm just thinking, please don't piss me off. Please don't piss me off. Please don't piss me off. What do you think this man did? Of course, he pissed me off. I'm calling him. I'm literally I'm screenshotting like, hey, I see where you're at. I see what you're doing. This shit is not cool. You're not cool. I'm over this. I'm over you. I'm done. Don't come home. Come get your stuff. Wherever you at, stay there. The next morning he calls. I have to lock on the door, y'all. He can't even get in. So he's like, the chain is on the door. He's like looking through the little peephole. He's like, let me in. I'm like, no. He's like, I have something for you. I'm like, I don't care. Come in and come get your stuff. So he's like, all right. So he comes in. He has a crystal vase with some pink flowers, some pink roses. Now he know I'm a sucker for some roses, but I wasn't sucker to forgive him this time. I'm done. So he comes in. I'm thinking he gonna get his stuff. This man goes in, take a shower, shave his head, shave his beard, make him some turkey bacon, some egg whites, some protein pancakes, sit in the living room, watch a sporting thing on his phone. He puts all his stuff in his bag, and I'm thinking, no, sir, come get the rest of your stuff. He was like, you're tripping. I'm not going anywhere. We're going to work this out. I'll be back home tonight. Boo boo. I'm only going to go in for a few hours. When he leaves, maybe 3 hours later, I get this phone call from this weird number that pretty much says like, hey, you're with my man, blah blah blah. I'm like, who man am I with? And of course I put two together, and I'm like, she must talk about Mr. Dum Dum, Mr. Mississippi Dum Dum. So she was like, can I call you, whatever. And so I answered the phone, and she's like, she was like, hey, can you please tell Dum Dum or whatever, stop calling me, start texting me. I'm so tired of playing his games. And I'm like, who are you? She explains, blah, 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 all this, whatever. Y'all, Jesus. I don't want to go too much into it because y'all are going to get a mouthful soon. So, boo, we go back and forth or whatever. I'm like, baby, I ain't gonna lie to you. He your problem now because I ain't dealing with. She was like, yeah. And he tried to make it up to me with these these pink roses. Pink roses? Explain these roses to me. So she does, and I realized we got the same crystal vase and the same roses. I like the vase, so I kept the vase. I threw the roses in the trash. And I was like, you love him? She was like, yeah, he's my man and I love him. I said, well, y'all just need to be happy ever after because, baby, I ain't gonna lie to you. This headache, I need to pass this headache to somebody else. And I feel like you are the perfect candidate for me to pass it on. But she's like, I think he's cheating on me. What? Cheating on you? How? Whatever. I'm gonna let this woman be delusional. I've been delusional for years. I'm gonna pass the torch to her. She can have it. So, of course, I called him. I let him know. He's like, what is going on? Da-da-da. Now, I said, don't come home this weekend. He was like, why? I'm like, don't come home. And he was like, whatever. So Monday happens. I don't see him Saturday. I don't see him Sunday. Monday happens. And I get a phone call from him and he goes, no, I get a phone call from the girl. And she's like, hey. I'm like, girl, what do you want? Why you keep calling me? I already told you. He's your man. He's your problem. Like, leave me alone. She was like, he's putting me through so much stress and I just don't want it to do da-da-da-da. Right? And I was like, oh, okay, well, I haven't seen him in days. She was like, because he's here. So you telling me that he's sitting next to you right now? And he just texted me and told me he was on his lunch break? And where you live and where his job is at is a 30-minute difference? I'm confused. So, I hang up with her or whatever because at this point I don't want to hear no more with her. Like, why am I talking to the help at this point? But I'm one of the women. No matter how many times he did do little stupid stuff, I never really got mad at the women for real because they as stupid as me. You feel me? So he called me and I'm like, what's going on? He was like, what's going on? He was like, y'all trying to set me up. Da-da-da. I'm like, boy, bye. Shut up. Cry me a river. At this point, I'm not trying to listen to none of these things. Like I told you, Valentine's Day happened and I've been removed myself. I just told you on Valentine's Day I didn't want to be with you no more. I was done. I was serious. I'm done with this. We broke up. In my mind, we are not together. I don't like you no more. Please don't like me no more. Please move on. Please be somebody else's headache. Please literally make somebody else's life miserable. Let me be free. Let me be when I first met him I was 29 years old. And now I'm 29. Yeah, I'm 33 and literally miserable. Like we talk about getting married, we didn't get married. We talk about having children, didn't have children. We talk about literally buying a house, we didn't do that. We talk everything that we talked about, it just didn't. But it was like he was giving these women he was meeting bits and pieces of my life. And I'm like, I signed up for like what the ride or die submissive girlfriend. I was all of that, and it got me nowhere. Anyways, he calls me and he's like, I'm playing games. I said, look, sir, we don't go together anymore. He was like, yes, we do. Like, no, we don't. But you can tell he got back you could tell it sounded like he was opening the door. When he opened the door, not to my house, but when he was opening the door, whatever, he got in and I was like, oh, you still at her house? He was like, yeah. He was like, I'm about to leave. And so you can hear in the background just whapping for no reason. And so I said, do you love her? Do you love? That's all I wanted to know. Clearly y'all intimate, but do you love her? And when he opened his mouth and said yes, I said, fine. I've already packed your items. They're in the garage. Come get them. You literally have 3 hours to come get them, or you're going to regret it. He was like, no, I can't get it right now. I said, why? You're at work? You working today? He was like, no, I'm not working today. I said, well, come get your items. Maybe he didn't think fat meat wasn't greasy, but I was serious, boo. Once you, and it's so crazy because everybody was like, when I tell the story, people always ask me, like, what was the last straw for you? The last straw for me is when he literally told me that he loved someone else. And I know that might sound weird or stupid to most of you guys, but that was like my last straw. And so I'm like, fine, go be with whoever you want to be with, come get your stuff. So I knew I had to pick Ramaya up in 3 hours. So I waited 3 hours to pass. I called him. I said, where you at? He was like, I'm still in whatever city she was in. And I'm like, all right, bet. I'm like, well, I told you to come get your stuff, so I'm gonna get rid of it. And so he was like, no, what are you doing? Baby, let me tell you something. I done went to the garage. You know, like them blue storage bins from Walmart. Baby, I done grabbed the bin and dragging it on the phone with him while he's on my Bluetooth. He's like, why you breathing heavy? Because them they was heavy. And I'm pulling them down all the way from the garage all the way to the trash can, baby. I threw 5 of them all the way to the trash. He said, why you out of breath? I said, baby, your stuff is by the trash can. He said, no, go get them. I said, no, baby, I gave you 3 hours. Actually, I gave you over 3 hours. Come get them. I said, I'm about to go take Ramaya I'm going to go pick Ramaya up from the Boys and Girls Club. I said, it's literally 10 minutes up the street. I said, I will sit here. I said, once I get back, I will sit in front of here or whatever until you come. He was like, no, because I'm not coming today. I said, then I ain't going to lie to you. I don't know what to tell you about your stuff. When I tell you, I got off the phone with him. I went to go pick up Ramaya from the Boys and Girls Club. It took me every bit of 12 minutes and 32 seconds. By the time I literally made it back to home, all the bins were picked up. In my mind, he came to get it. In my mind, he came to get it, right? Nope. He calls me. He's like, yes, my bin's still there. I'm like, oh, didn't you come get it? He was like, no. And I'm like, well, they're gone. He's like, stop playing with me. I'm like, no, your bins are gone. Bye-bye. He's like, oh, my God. Now, the funny thing about it is I bought majority of the stuff that he had. Now, should I have done that? Yes. If you told me that I had no right to do it, that I ain't listening to y'all. I had every right. It is what it is. I told him to come get it. He was a cheater, pumpkin eater. He didn't want to be there. Clearly, he thought that I was a joke for many, many years. And 90% of his items I bought. Literally, when I tell you that man had no fashion before he met me, and I literally went to Hollister, Aldo, things of that sort, shoes, belts, accessories, shirts, pants, I bought. So, it is what it is. At this point, he's mad at me. He's like, I ain't got no drawers, I ain't got no socks, I ain't got no nothing, I ain't got no bed. What am I gonna do? Ask your new girlfriend. Ask your new girlfriend. What you gonna do? But baby, I ain't got nothing for you. He's like, where am I gonna go? I have nowhere to sleep. I have nowhere to go. I'm just gonna be homeless. Baby, that sounds like a you problem. That sounds like something you and Jesus need to talk about. Maybe in this moment of your life, maybe you need to talk to Jesus. Because I ain't gonna lie to you, can't talk to me no more because you're blocked. He was like, are you serious? Yep. Be blessed. And I blocked him. I did. I blocked him. 2 days later, I come home and he's sitting in front of my doorstep. And he's like, so we really done? I'm like, this man don't get the hint. I was like, yeah, we're done. He was like, there's nothing we can do to make it up. No. Can I just take a shower? No. Go take a shower at her house. That's where you want to be. Go find Dodger Lady. That's where you want to be. Like, I don't want you here anymore. So, like a long story short, that was the end of us. Like, when I tell you that, I stood 10 toes down on the ground. I stood in my stuff. I dug my foot in the sand, and I had to stick to my word because I had a feeling that if I didn't stick to my word this time, that this was going to be my life, that this was something I was going to be signing up for the rest of my life. And I was like, babies, no. And on top of that, like you, and I'm not saying that my birthday and Valentine's Day made the final decision on thing, but like you took that away from me. You feel me? Like you took these moments away from me to spend time with somebody else on my day. And then to come to find out, a little kicker was on my birthday. So remember I told you he went out of town. So remember I told you he was in the club and he went out of town. So he only went out of town for 1 day. He actually came back at the end of the 10th. And so all the time I'm thinking he's still out there. He's not. He's actually hanging out. Another girl that shares a birthday. I think her birthday is like February 11th. When I tell you it gets worse and deeper with this man, but baby, look. I had to turn him loose. And why not break up and let this man be him and do him? And take the Cupid arrow out of the crack of my butt and allow this man to be free on Valentine's Day. I just think it's the perfect scenario. You want to run around with diapers and act like a baby? Go do your... But anyway, that's my story, y'all. That is my story of how I finally broke up with him after all those years on Valentine's Day. And it's so crazy because every time Valentine, people be like, best friend, how long you been single? People don't be believing that it's 5 years. How do you know you've been single 5 years? Because I broke up with Dum Dum 5 years ago on Valentine's Day. It is what it is. It is what it ain't. And the funny thing about it is, I'm going to say, and like I said, I'm going to give you guys the whole blueprint of everything. But it's so crazy. Like, even in this situation, like, looking back on it and thinking about it now and telling y'all the story, I noticed that, like, of course, I should have left this man a long time ago. Of course, it was screaming bad. It was screaming, girl, you knew this woulda, coulda, shoulda happened. Girl, this wasn't the first time, so why did you get mad? Like, all these things that people can say about me, but I'm not gonna say we all have been there, but majorities have been here, where literally, when it comes to this thing called love, like, baby, love will snatch you by your wig. You feel me? And make you believe that you are nothing without that person. And that's what it was giving. And I didn't, I knew his potential. I seen his potential, but for some reason he didn't see how amazing, how potentially beautiful he was. And I was trying to force that on him for so long that I had to realize that, baby, I ain't gonna lie to you, you cannot force anybody to see what you see in them. You know what I'm saying? You can try, but if they don't get it, baby, that has nothing to do with you. They gotta take that up with God. And the month after me and him broke up, I wound up getting on the Mimi app, trying to find me a rebound guy, and that was terrible. And then after that happened, I was like, I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm done with men altogether. And baby, I've been single for 5 years. I ain't saying I ain't dibbled and dabbled and did a little dibble, but I've only been with 2 other guys since him. And I ain't gonna lie, I ain't really gave my heart to anybody else since him. You feel me? Because And it's not that I even have no trust issues. I'm just... So, hopefully, y'all enjoyed my Let's Talk About It video. Because it brought back some memories. Not saying I want this man back, because I don't. And not saying that I haven't let go and I haven't healed from the situation, because I have. But I'm just saying, baby, not you cheat on me on Valentine's Day, baby. We had to cut them off. You gotta cut them off. When they do bad stuff, you gotta cut them off. Yes, yes. You gotta cut them off. He had to go.